Welcome to 600 Seconds with Sam. I'm here today with Heidi Wroe from Pure View Training and Development, and Heidi's hoping to get her message across in an interview with me. Hello, Heidi.
Hi, Sam.
Thanks for coming to speak to me today.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you some questions, and I'd like to kick it off with, how did you get to here?
In 2008, I had a lot of stuff going on, and to cut a very long story short, I took an opportunity. Having been made redundant, to retrain in a completely different skill set to what I'd previously been employed as. And I found out I was quite good at it, fortunately for me. Since then, I haven't really looked back. I've realised that actually having my own business is very good indeed. It works well for me. It means I can fit my work around my life and not my life around my work.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realised that to be out there, I just need to get out there and do it and promote. And it's working well. Taking opportunities, do it. It's good.
Feel the fear, do it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Familiar with that one. Okay, I'd also like to ask you, if you were to go back in time and you were to meet a younger version of Heidi, how old would you be and what would you say to Heidi?
Hindsight. I think I would probably go back to being around 16, 17, something like that. And I would sit myself down, tell myself to sort of wipe that grin off my face, stop being so smart about everything. And I would advise to keep my eye on my dream, I think. I very clearly remember having dreams and aspirations at around that age. And through one reason and another, that has been was dampened down somewhat. Through one reason or another, you tend to listen to people, and sometimes those people are not very helpful, or they try to influence you, perhaps negatively. And I would say to my 16, 17-year-old self, don't listen to them. Again, it's the same message, isn't it? Just do it. Because, I think I was dampened down. My dreams did go by the wayside a little. And I did conform to other people's ideologies too much. Fortunately, I've kind of come full circle, and I'm back on the dreamer's path. So
yay! Brilliant stuff. And so, what's next for Heidi?
Well, after a short hiatus, having had a baby, I've taken the opportunity to take stock of what's going on for Pure View, and slight developmental type things going on. That has seen some new courses being added to the suite of courses that I already offer. A realisation that some of the courses that I'm qualified and more than able to deliver, I perhaps don't want to deliver, which is a good thing in itself. Slight admin type changes in the business, which might mean that a few of the processes that I don't want to have to do get done by somebody else, and of course encompassing in that is things like the website, which is in hand being delegated to somebody else that is more proficient at doing that sort of thing. And in the future, developing things that are less about financial gain, but more about, for me, feel good gain.
Giving back?
Yeah. Corporate social responsibility. I believe the term is.
Yeah, yeah.
I was on a talk recently where somebody was telling us all about this, and that sits well with me. So I have previously delivered things to varying people or organisations completely free of charge. And without giving too much away, there is a bit of a eligibility criteria, and I have had a few organisations that have hit the mark, let's say, one being very recently, last week, and I'm more than happy to do stuff like that because I think life's too short to trudge around just chasing the almighty dollar all the time. So it's quite nice just to go out one day, get your work kit on, and you go and do something, completely donating your time and your resources and everything. And I think sometimes it catches people off guard as well. What? You're doing this for free? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think you're worth it.
Yeah. And it's your choice.
Absolutely, yeah. It is my choice. It is my choice. Yeah. So yeah, perhaps more stuff like that on the agenda.
Great. So tell me a little bit more about what courses you do offer.
My specialism is conflict management training, but I also deliver the physical side of things should an organisation or an individual have a requirement for physically intervening with a subject. Now that can vary with how people view it from industry to industry. For example, when I go into schools or children's homes, they perhaps prefer to use the terminology sort of handling people, holding people safely or positive holding. All these are words that are often surrounded the activity in those industries. If I work in healthcare, for instance, with care homes, nursing homes, or in the mental health sector, they might occasionally use the word restraint. However people term it, physically intervening is an activity that, when it's used professionally, should be done safely, legally compliant, and obviously acting sometimes under best practice guidance from varying governing bodies. That's my specialism. I also deliver breakaway training as well, so if staff may not have a requirement to hold people, but they find themselves in occasions or in workplaces or circumstances where they are exposed to risk from the people that they're dealing with. And very often in lone worker type scenarios, people want to know that if that person were to become aggressive or whatever, what would they do? So I often go to companies to deliver that sort of training. It has to be said, even when I deliver my breakaway training, if I might do for instance, very often get asked to do a full day breakaway training, the majority part of the day encompasses a lot of communication techniques to deal with conflict, so that we can hopefully avoid the physical stuff in the first place, because it's always preferable not to be there to meet the crisis. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's great. So I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover today. Thank you so much for joining me, Heidi. I really appreciate it. And that's Pure View Training and Development, Heidi Wroe. And you've been watching 600 Seconds with Sam. Get your message across. If you want to see more, just check out the YouTube channel. Thank you.